Aloy, the progress of your training is nothing short of breathtaking. In just a few years, your skills have surpassed my own, and indeed rank among the finest the Nora will have ever seen. In time, they will come to recognize you as an elite among their ranks. Your heroics shall be written of in the sacred texts. Songs of your courage and valor will be heard. Couldn't just walk like a normal person. All this Nathan Drake shit. Oh, I expect the matriarchs will have a good laugh about this.
Greetings all, my name is Kontrol. I'm a professional artist, a huge fan of old comics, and a regular visitor to post-apocalyptic Earth. Yep, gamers have seen the future, and it's not looking good, people. I've walked the decrepit landscapes of Fallout 3, fought the multi-dimensional Combine menace in Half-Life 2, navigated the irradiated underground of Metro, visited the urban devastation and horror of Detroit Become Human. Oh, no wait, that was an actual visit to Detroit. No video game would have that many dead bodies just laying around. The point is, life after the fall of civilization is such a regular setting in science fiction, it's practically its own genre by now. Most of the time, creative types aren't all that interested in exactly how planet Earth jumped the shark. Typically, some pillar of real-world existential dread is just pulled off the shelf and pasted into a quick prologue. Chaos swept over the ruined Earth. Humanity's endless thirst for conflict and conquest inevitably consumed all in its path with nuclear fire. Or maybe what began as fear turned to terror and eventually despair. A 0% survival rate from the airborne pathogen signaled doom for all but the inexplicably immune. The ones who within mere weeks would inherit the remains of a devastated civilization. Or, my personal favorite, their arrival was sudden and merciless, their inhuman eyes at once flashing of fierce cunning and malign purpose. Creatures of supreme technological skill, now evaluating an indigenous population of slaves.
Suck it, E.T.
That's the spirit. Ooh, right in the dome. See, most of the time, the pre-apocalypse isn't particularly relevant to the story they really want to tell. Setting your drama after some insane catastrophe is just an easy way to clear the slate. Throwing out all the normal rules of modern civilization makes it very easy to prop up any story dynamic you want. You can't have a Hunger Games take place in current year 2020, where just being called names can make the news. We're such pussies. On the other hand, in some post-apocalyptic fiction, the why and the how of the setting is actually the fuel that drives the story. This is the category Horizon Zero Dawn falls into. Right from its very first trailer, the game presents its world as a mystery to be solved. Beautiful, colorful landscapes populated by tribal human beings in primitive attire. And, wait for it, mechanical creatures who are as obviously technically advanced as they are aggressive. Horizon Zero Dawn's game world just doesn't allow for your basic terrible thing happened years ago. Let's talk about something else. Setup. That works fine for stuff like The Last of Us, but definitely wouldn't cut it here. So, synopsis time. Horizon Zero Dawn takes place in the 31st century, in a post-apocalyptic world where colossal machines dominate the land. Human civilization has regressed to tribal societies of hunters and gatherers, who survive in immense forests, imposing mountain ranges, and the atmospheric ruins of their ancestors, all while the machines become increasingly powerful. The player controls Aloy, a huntress who uses her speed, cunning, and agility to stay alive and protect her tribe against the force, size, and power of the machines. Okay, it is actually good that the wiki presents the barest of bones in the synopsis. I think taking away the mystery element of the game would hugely detract from the quest. By now, almost 3 years after the game's release, most people already know the origin of Aloy's rough neighborhood, so I'll offer up my opinion of that revelation while not getting into hardcore spoiler territory. Horizon Zero Dawn's premise is grim. A grim with a capital M? Centuries before Aloy's birth, all life on Earth was exterminated, and not by the usual suspects. War, natural disaster, disease, alien invasion. Nope. This time, it was corporate incompetence.
Yay!
No, not T-virus. And that was corporate evil, not incompetence. And Umbrella only destroyed life on Earth in those rancid movies, so it wouldn't count anyway. What's so grim about the apocalypse in this story is how recordings and files describe a relentless, unstoppable slaughter that literally spares no living thing. A single heroic death is documented, and one final awful crime by a deranged mind is discovered. It's dark stuff. I bring this up here because aside from the astonishing graphics, the solid action, and impressive weapon variety, it's the thing I most remember about my experience.
So why not talk about the astonishing graphics, the solid action, and impressive weapon variety?
May I have your attention? Horizon Zero Dawn has astonishing graphics, solid action, and impressive weapon variety.
It does?
Get out. Okay, on to the negatives. Honestly, there really isn't too much to nitpick here, but I did find myself wishing Aloy was a bit less of a stoic character. Her personality is on the bland side of things, and she never gets any companions or romance options to flesh out her humanity a bit more. This is a problem for a game of this length, honestly. Assassin's Creed Odyssey's Cassandra was so much more fun to hang out with. Something about Aloy's demeanor and appearance make her seem much older than the 18 or 19-year-old I assume she's meant to be. Maybe it has something to do with her flesh and blood human template. This Dutch chick, who is in her 30s. I wasn't a big fan of her style either, something that almost delayed my purchase of the game. Most of her costumes make her look weirdly big in the hips, and they have these mandatory 80s leg warmers. If her initial outfit was her only outfit, like a Sekiro, I might not have played at all. Fortunately, her Banuk Sickness Eater costume became quickly available, along with some other nice options, at least in their light and medium forms. I only wore full heavy when absolutely necessary. Now, drawing a pinup like this one can be smooth sailing on a good day. This was not a good day. Some drawings just flow out of the pencil. Everything just kind of lands where it should, and I add the final line on cruise control. Aloy and her giant robot co-star have curves and shapes that they just defy math. They need to be coaxed into obedience. And for some reason, I never quite nailed the tension I wanted in her expression and pose. It's all perfectly presentable, obviously, or it would have hit the shredder. But evidence I still have hills to conquer when it comes to drawing. Someday.
I don't know.
Anyway, that should about do it for Horizon Zero Dawn. If you haven't played the game, go ahead and do so. But not until you've abused the like button and subscribed to this channel. Eventually, we'll get to your favorite game. Leaving a comment below has been known to speed up that process. Most of all, thanks for watching.